I've sent dick pics. Of course I have. 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 What are you talking? Of course I have. My phone has a camera on it. And I have a dick. What conclusion did you think I was going to arrive at? But again, always solicited, always to someone who's like, shit is fucking fool. Like, they don't do that aggressively. And to my brothers out there that are sending solicited dick pics, do not let the rest of these monsters ruin the good thing going on, right? Fucking fight the good fight. If you're still a bit ashamed of your dick pics, I get it. I've seen my own dick pics. They're, you know, there. But just compared to the nudes the women send, always, it's just better. Women, I don't know if every single one of you fuckers went to art school, but the effort in these little, there's lingerie, there's angles, there's lighting, there's a fucking drape somewhere. Like, even though it's a photo, somehow music is playing in the background. Whereas men send dick pics like they're trying to sell a used car. Just like, this is what I see. Now you see what I see. Do you like what I see? I like when you see what I see. Oh, you want another angle? Don't worry, baby, I got 2 of them. This one like a mugshot, like he's been a bad penis. Like, stop teaching children that sex is for reproduction, because we all know that it fucking isn't, right? Reproduction is 1% of what sex is actually used for, and I am rounding up heavily there. Most of us have had sex. Some of you will have had sex to have children. Those of you that have had sex to have children, I hope will be willing to admit that most of the time you've ever fucked was explicitly to not have children. Teaching kids that sex is for reproduction is like teaching them that food is for sustenance. Like, yeah, at base level, millions of years ago, when survival was our only purpose, of course, that's all it was there for. When you teach your kids how to cook, you just don't teach them how to make oatmeal and only oatmeal. All right, kids, gather around. This is the one and only recipe you'll need for the rest of your lives. And even then, only when you're starving. Don't Google any others, you filthy little pervert. So, what you do is you get the oats and you get the water. My mum makes chicken wings. Your mother's a whore, Jason. Occasionally, not all the time, but occasionally it does happen that I get described as an intellectual comedian. And let's nip that in the fucking butt. I am not an intellectual comedian, okay? If you find my comedy intelligent, that says more about your state of mind than it does about mine. Don't drag me down to your level. I know what I am, and that's a rat with a fucking microphone. I wish I had a smart sense of humor. I don't. I laugh at horrible shit. Like, you know those times where something funny happens, and the laugh for you lasts for 30 seconds, but the shame of laughing stays with you for a very long time. A couple of years ago, somebody fell over in the middle of the street, right on a road. They were over the age of 80. You had a little giggle. And then 2 years later, you're in the shower like, oh, I don't think a good person would have laughed at that. She died. My dad is the only man I know of that is banned from the British version of the show BattleBots. Right, you know BattleBots where the robots fight each other? It's called Robot Wars in the UK. My father's banned from that show. Why? Because he went on it 2 years in a row, his robot got destroyed, he then snapped, locked himself in a basement for 6 months, and then invented a robot that the BBC described as legally a weapon. He's also very coldly analytical. His sense of humor is one of the funniest, but I don't want to say cruel, but right, here's an example. When my mother was diagnosed with my youngest brother, she still has him, it's very serious. She was about 8 months pregnant, right? It's her 4th child. And one day my dad comes home from work. He's not a bad husband, he's just occasionally a bit of an idiot and a bit lazy. He comes in the house, he lies down on the couch, and my mum's like, in what fucking world? In what world is this how you're spending your evening? Martin, I'm 8 months pregnant. There's some things I physically can no longer do around the house because of my size. For example, the dishes. I can no longer get into the sink to do the dishes because there's human life in the way. Can you please just try and make this last month a little bit easier for me? That night, while she slept, my dad welded a semicircle into the sink so she could get in to do the dishes. Wow.